Aquarius and Capricorns, how are you doing, my darlings? Are you ready for us to deep dive into your vibration? Because it looks incredibly interesting. Now, I've got to say, we're dealing with a range of Aquariuses, a range of Capricorns. You could be in a relationship or a connection with either or I'm just generally with that collective. Okay, so stay with me. You'll know in a minute if this is for you. But I'm definitely looking at a connection between a Capricorn and Aquarius and somebody else in a Emperor and Empress energy. And I've got the Judgment card out twice here for me. And we've also got the Tree of Life showing up. So it's a very, very interesting dynamic, followed by the Tower in that as well. We're looking at a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. It could have been a whirlwind romance. It could have been a whirlwind business idea. It could have been a venture. I want to say venture capitalist. Now we're looking at two people that are in business together. It hasn't even got to be romantic now. I'm a clairvoyant, intuitive reader. I am the Hermitologist. If you do resonate, hit like, subscribe, share more in the comments. But now I'm getting all these ideas about business and founders, co-founders working together with someone else in business, and that dynamic right now seems to be up in arms. There seems to be some kind of question about this business and taking it to the next level, the mission in business now. Really interesting coming through, because in the action position, it is the Tower moment. There needs to be a change. The Scorpio just had the Tower card in the center of their spread. Go and look at their thumbnail. That resonates with you. Go and dive into that as well, okay? They've been told to ride the wave and go with the flow because things are changing massively for them. With you guys with the Tower card coming out in the action position, it's like you are being forced into change. You are being forced into submission here, and it is you and another person that look like you're going to have to rebirth and reinvent yourself to fit into this new world. Yeah, and this is a new oh my gosh, citizenship, visa, someone seeking asylum. We speak about that in the TV tarot coming out at the end of the week, actually. So go and check out the TV tarot. It's actually the one titled The Only Survivor. And we dive into a really difficult dynamic that you've had to survive. Interesting how everything is starting to merge and meld and become one over here. My goodness, that's just the beginning, guys. So let me plug everything that aligns to you and connect all the synchronistic dots. Now we can go. In the past, there was an awakening you had. Looks like a spiritual awakening. Looks like you getting rid of other people in your environment, family, friends, community, network, colleagues, caterers, yeah? Someone who is catering, a venue, an event, others around that keep catering to you, then you don't need them there. Some kind of irritation, some kind of light work that you were doing, definitely giving me angelic energies, where you've been an angel, a guru, a guide, a light source, metaphorically speaking in many cases, because it doesn't mean to be angelic and light source that you have to say namaste and do tarot and be a guru like that. Being a leader, someone who employs staff, being a mother, a father, a carer. You've been doing stuff for others. And there was a shift in the past where you said, I'm done. And that resulted in this relationship. It looks like it was blooming. A relationship that has budded and bloomed. And it looks like the masculine in this relationship, the masculine energy, the richer person in this relationship has started to really, really prosper. But the person that's less rich, less known, a little more wobbly, a little bit more flighty, could be a Scorpio you're dealing with. Go and check out the Scorpio read, like I said. There's this flighty, wobbly energy with the Empress. And it's interesting because in the image I'm giving you, the Empress is looking away and she's full of heart though. You can see she's full of heart. She's embracing that feminine role. She's looking out, really assessing things in life. This could be someone very flighty, very emotional, someone who cries a lot. And the masculine's coming forward face on, really taking care of business. But there needs to be a rebirth because the Judgment card is out here twice in my deck, and it's really going, whoa, we're going to have to look at the absence of finance here. We're going to have to look at the shortfall financially. We're going to have to come to some agreement, some arrangement, some kind of I'm getting confirmation. And I'm getting it in two ways. Like, firstly, it took me to the church as like a confirmation. And it was kind of, I don't even think it's called a confirmation plate, but it's giving me a plate that everyone puts money in. So if you are a charity, assess how you are receiving funds and expecting money from others, because a lot of charities, and I love charity. I love the most beautiful givers and charities that are out there. I love them all, but it does make me upset, and I do get really bossy with it when we're losing money every day. Every day we're open, we lose money. Yet we don't ask for a damn thing from anyone else. We don't get a return. We don't even try. We just open the doors and we don't tell everyone else we're even struggling. And that gets me, because often some of these most beautiful, gorgeous charities, they have the people, they have the numbers, they have the collective, they have the community. And it's kind of someone who needs to kind of be like, save our church, save our community, help us get things back together. Can we all donate? Is there anyone that wants to do a fundraising event? Should we do a money drive? Should we do something on social media like GoFundMe? What can we do to get the money up, the revenue up? We're going to have to close our doors if we don't make this by the end of the year. Like, these conversations need to happen and be had, and it's like someone's been avoiding dealing with it. And I know that we're spiritualists, right? And we love light work and just working for God, and money's not important, but in these instances it is. And this is what's helped me evolve and become who I am today, and build Hermitology, specifically the School of Hermitology, and everything I do at hermitology.me, because it was my evolving awareness that we're going to have nothing in the future. We're going to be so arse broken, struggling in major ways, because although we are working for God, and there's a variety of religions and belief systems we all uniquely have, we still need to survive. We still need to eat. We still need to drink. Being a spiritualist, being religious, doesn't mean we have to starve to death. And it doesn't mean we have to give away our last. I've been homeless. I've been down and out. I've been a tarot reader. I've been a spiritual life coach. Yeah, I've been seen as a guru in communities. I've done a lot of stuff for free. I get it. I've worked at charities. I've worked for charities. I've done charity work. I am very giving as a person. But all of those experiences has installed the knowledge in me of what it means to really, really suffer and go without. And all it takes sometimes is to ask the collective to help. Yeah, to come to some kind of arrangement or agreement, and to stabilize, because we need the community more than we need to not pay for the community. Do you get what I mean when I say that? And that's why people always have rude opinions about the church sometimes. And when the collection plate comes around and no one wants to see it as a positive, or the pastor's just going to buy a new car, the pastor's going to get his house done up. The church has lights and electricity bills and gas, and someone's having a tea and a coffee, and we're open and we're using candles, and we've got to clean the place, and we need hand wash, and we need to do that. That's just light stuff and basic stuff. Things need to be paid for. We have to manage the books. Yeah? So it's letting me know again and again the books are unmanaged here. And it's fair enough, and I say that I say that with so much passion and heart, like, come on, let's fix this. But I understand what it also means to not demand money of others, because I am still that same way, you know? I have a corporation that's grounded on 0 on the balance sheet, and I scream it from left to right all the time, like it's a great thing to advocate for. But you've got to have a long-term plan. Yeah? Do you have a plan for the next 10 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 6 years, about when that money's going to come in, or whether or not you do or don't need money? Because we look at companies like the richest in the world, for example, Amazon, went for years and years and years without making a profit. Platforms like Twitch and Kick and streaming platforms have gone through phases of not making a profit but paying out massive amounts to streamers as incentive to stay on the platform. We all have our different financial mechanics, yeah? Monetary economics, the way in which we scale and develop our businesses in line with our unique belief system. So we're allowed to be free, and a lot of us need to provide free services to people that can't afford to pay. But what can we do, and what could we use as an incentive to drive this shortfall forward, so we're not in a deficit at least, yeah? If you're at 0-0 on the balance sheet, in my opinion, and there's no issue between what's going in and coming out, fair enough. A lot of us self-employed and lone entrepreneurs and lone wolves are by ourselves in this situation, and we're okay. But in instances where you've got a lot of expenses coming out month on month, and you've got to pay the rent, you've got to pay the electric, you've got to pay the gas, you've got to pay all the bills, and the money's just dwindling, and you're still providing a mass amount of services, people are coming in, community need you, yeah? It's like food banks, for example, yeah? If the food bank doesn't keep requesting people to bring in food and making a demand, they're not going to meet supply. And they're going to close. And then loads of people who use the food bank will suffer and struggle and have no food. But in that instance, if the food bank told everyone that, everyone who received food from the food bank would maybe take less, put something back, donate something else they've got at their house, consider other ways to support the food bank and volunteer. People come together in time of need. That's true charity, and that's true kinship and fellowship, and people who truly value the service. My point here for whoever I'm connecting with in this reading for Aquarius and Capricorn is people value you in your service. Yeah? And there's somebody who's really wobbly here. Could be a Scorpio, because they have so much to do, and it's a lot for them to manage on their own. I see a really gorgeous person, yeah, and it's giving me flashbacks of people I know in real life, like in the local community, like at like Salvation Armies or like food banks and different kind of hubs in your local area. There's always that woman who's always rushing around and hustling and bustling and doing 100 different jobs, and you never know how she gets it done, where she found that new supply, and it's every now and then we're going to get shut down and the company's going to be closed, or we're not going to be able to open next week. Suddenly this person's fixed the books and jiggled stuff around, and there's another opportunity, and or somebody else has come in and saved the day. It's like there's this magical energy here in the Empress card, and it shows you what a light worker really looks like, in my opinion, and what an earth angel really looks like. And it makes me a little bit emotional, weirdly so, because there are so many beautiful souls that I see in my mind. I see some teachers, some of my primary school teachers. I see some beautiful souls that I've met at spiritualist churches. I see different kind of food banks and places I've worked and volunteered, or groups I've been a part of, where there's that magical person who just walks around making things better. And I see that here, and I see beautiful things are always going to follow this dynamic or this group. Yeah, I see, because the Tree of Life's here, I see that you and this person are destined to keep getting new beginnings and flourish again. I want to talk about this masculine and this feminine, because I can absolutely trust that this feminine is going to be incredibly successful. But this masculine, so bear this in mind loosely, and I felt like I was talking to the masculine for a while because he's staring right at me, but it's like whoever the masculine is, they're maybe not as in charge as the feminine. If this is a husband and wife dynamic, bear that in mind, because the feminine is the go-getter here, and the feminine has the magic, the feminine has the light source, the feminine has the power. The emperor here, who's at the front, this could be a fusion of two elements of you that you need to integrate. Because if I'm looking at a really gorgeous earth angel who hasn't really come forward to the front and in her powerful masculine essence to really boss up and take charge of a situation, then that's relevant for you. And handle the books, handle the money and make demands of these people, because someone's a nester, yeah, and that nestles in and makes things happen in a really beautiful, nurturing way, where the emperor is face on taking charge, but the emperor is more likely to lose money than the empress is, because the empress is just so already abundant and just at one and peace and following the tree of life. The empress can't ever go the wrong way. Look at the empress. She's staring at the tree of life. She knows every aspect of this business, this company, this corporation, what's next, what we're meant to be doing. She's not remotely confused. The archangels watch over her. It's the emperor here that is the one who is a little bit more rocky and shady and conflicted sometimes, and a bull in a china shop, burning through the money a lot more. And it's a few step backwards every now and then, because the emperor seems to think he has to play this kind of role. There's a stereotype issue here as well. It gives me the vision of the Mormon Wives on Disney. That's Mum Talk and Dad Talk. It's about a Mormon community where all of these Mormon women, this is a reality show, it's fantastic, it's real life, but it's a reality show. They've all blown up on social media, they've all gone viral, and they're all making big boy money now, big woman money, should I say. And their husbands, who were the ones that were out working, are now the stay-at-home husbands, while all of these TikTokers, viral female, good-looking TikTok mums blow up on social media. And now they've got their own books, they're on book tours, they've got Dancing with the Stars, they're on season 3 of their own reality show. I've watched every single episode. I love the shit. Drama every single week. Fantastic reality show. They're all stars. One of the stars just got casted as the Bachelorette. And actually, she just lost her role as the Bachelorette because she got into a fight with her baby father and ended up hitting her child and the baby father in the process of it, and the video got leaked. So the new Bachelorette series has just got dropped in the US as well because of this. But, I mean, she made it to Bachelorette. So the stereotypes about what a Bachelorette should be like, and she shouldn't be beating up her baby dad and accidentally hitting her child in the process. But what a husband should be, a lot of these husbands, one husband in particular was like, I don't know what to do with myself now, because now I stay at home with the kids all day, and that used to be you. Before you blew up on social media, you were supporting me, and you was the stay-at-home wife. Now all these stay-at-home wives are the main breadwinners in the family. And it's all about the stay-at-home dads who are lost every day, don't know what to do with themselves. It's that kind of dynamic coming through here too. So it could be a business that has a man at the front of it and a woman in the back, or like, I don't know how we want to label that, husband and wife dynamic. Either way, it's this kind of subtle, gorgeous, powerful feminine energy who sits in the back, whereas this masculine at the front is more equipped to handle the tower moments. But he is actually handling the tower moments for real, for real. So there's no disrespect to the masculine, because they all have their own roles, but everyone needs to find their balance. And there needs to be an understanding that some of these roles are interchangeable. Some of these jobs are interchangeable, yeah? And there is no limitation or disrespect or disregard to either for changing their roles or stepping back or stepping forward a little bit more. Because this feminine is never going to make a mistake. Impossible. She's wrapped in divine. Whereas this emperor's definitely going to make a mistake because he's juggling with real statistics and numbers and people and plonkers, I want to say. These people falling through the tower who can't accept the numbers that they're looking at and keep making massive mistakes in business. He's got to deal with them all the fucking time. So he's a lot more shrewd, rude, pissed off, arrogant, masculine, obnoxious. A lot of stereotypes there around this kind of energy. But the feminine, divine. Absolutely. And at peace. And she hasn't got to live the life that this masculine's living either. She's on the other side of judgment. Yeah, the judgment she receives, very different to the judgment the masculine receives. Yeah, it gives me press, media attention, in the staff room, in the meetings. Yeah, everyone shits on the boss. Yeah, so the emperor's getting shit on, but the empress is the loveliest person you could ever meet. Empress gives me a little bit of human resources or the well-being lead in the company versus the CEO in the company. Do you get what I mean? It's a very different dynamic when someone's there. How are you getting on today? How's life treating you? How's your role? Are you comfortable with it? How's your mum doing? I know she was sick last week. Versus the person who is in charge saying, have you done that? Why is that not done? That's not missing. That box is not ticked. What time did you come in today? You're late. Well, where is that? We're understaffed again. Where's the cover for this? Do you get what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. Different job description. Understand your role. Understand how to shift and navigate between what you're good and not so good at. Yeah? And that's because at the end of the day, the Ace of Pentacles is coming out as the greatest asset of all here for you. And it's letting me know that although there's financial struggle at this time, it will shift because this feminine knows exactly where to go with every single aspect of every single penny. Yeah? And it's about the strength that comes from both of you guys. This is a gorgeous reading. If you are dealing with an Aquarius or dealing with a Capricorn and you are an Aquarius or a Capricorn, beautiful confirmation for you. Yeah, I got guided to do this as well, so it's really nice to be able to do this because the cards came out like this, the zodiac choices came out like this, and we're looking at a tree of life. We're looking at the Empress staring at the tree of life, and she knows exactly where she needs to go at every single point in time. And then we've got the person who's going to gung-ho get it fucking done, and then in the middle of all of it we've got that judgment. Yeah. So the divine's watching over this. This is ordained. This is godly. That's why I spoke a lot about charity. That's why I spoke a lot about food banks, because it's about giving back and it's about doing the right thing. Yeah. And it's about, and when I say giving back, it's about doing it in a way where it's integritous, not for the community, not for the mass population, but it's integritous for you. I spoke a lot this week about giving to yourself, giving and receiving. It's time that you and the Empress received. The Emperor and the Empress need to receive. When you're an amazing human being, when you're a light source, when you're a genuinely good person, you need to receive what you give off. Because how are you going to keep being amazing and giving to the rest of the world when you're depleted and deplenished? You need to be able to assert yourselves and make sure you can be fueled by your invention, by your craft, by your daily work, yeah? Because that way you can keep doing it. Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter who people think you are or what their opinion about your pay or salary is or how you look or dress or what your net worth is. The truth of the matter is, genuinely, you are doing great things and you are helping, I want to say millions. So that's a bit grandiose, but maybe that's where you're meant to be. It could be online, it could be not. You can have millions of subscribers, followers, whatever the case may be, but the numbers are humongous or destined to be, or you're in the millions in your company. So the truth of the matter when it comes to that, it's about truly understanding how much you are valued. And value yourself to that degree. And don't worry or feel judged for it, because this Empress could keep telling this Emperor, don't worry about the money, don't worry about the money. But you need to be replenished. You need to be paid. That's what I get. A lot of people could be working for free. not getting paid or volunteering. So many volunteers I know, and that I've seen in the past, and they're running hubs and community groups, and it's every single week, and it's pain and activities, and they're not getting paid a dime, but consecutively, at least once a week, they are there showing up. And a lot of the time it's older women doing this, and they're putting their heart on the line, and they're making and decorating and baking and painting, designing, and no one's getting paid for it. They're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. But my goodness, some people need a return. And this is my sticking point in life right now. People need to start getting what they deserve to be getting, because we can't keep going down this route, especially with the cost of living being the way it is and the struggle of life being the way it is. We can't keep maxing ourselves out and just saying it's for charity and charity. Yeah, that's humble and that's lovely, but it isn't lovely when you're homeless and you've got fuck all to live on and you're eating a crumb for dinner. Do you get what I mean? We've got to get everybody stable and grounded and at a position in life where they are receiving what they deserve and they know their true value. Because when you know your true value, you work better. And it's even more amazing when there are some beautiful souls on this planet who don't even know their true value, but just work relentlessly as well. So I've got someone in my mind now who I know from the past that I worked with for years, and she's just generally an earth angel, a light worker, a gorgeous soul. And she just didn't even know how amazing she was in the environment and what she'd done to me every day. Just her presence being there just shifted my mood. Beautiful woman. And then she ended up leaving and not being around because of stress. And she was stressed and she quit and left. And it was devastating because I loved that person so much. And I couldn't believe that they were dealing with stress. And I was so sad and devastated to understand that someone so amazing could just be so stressed. And once again, it's the experiences like that make you build things in life that are anti-stressors, or learn more about what we're all going through uniquely. Because everyone needs to know that they are so valuable. And she was stressed because she's clearly an empath and an earth angel, and she was doing amazing things in the environment, working through a lot of heavy, burdensome, toxic energy. When you're a light source, when you're an empath and you pick up on what's going on with other people, it can be a real burden on you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So we've got to make sure that you guys have the energy you need to keep going in this game called life. And everyone needs to be valued accurately. And that's not in a money basis. It's about showing up and seeing someone for who they are in their eyes, and understanding heart and spirit, and the willingness to understand what that person is doing for us, for you, others. And how, even with no money or limited money, we can make a better contribution to that person's all-round well-being. Because if we haven't got the money to pay that volunteer, what could we do for that volunteer to make sure that there's an even keel? Yeah? An even exchange of energy. Really, really important. Yeah? I hope that made sense, guys. I really, really do. I send you so much love and light and healing energy, okay? And I really do hope you stay positive in your business endeavours. And I want to say on the outro, okay, if you did stay and that made sense to you, but more so specifically from a reality where you are that boss, but you are that earth angel, I want to be able to synergize that energy with you at the end and go, okay, whether or not we're talking about two separate individuals here, I want you to understand the characteristics of both of them and what it means when both of them come together and unify. Because for most of you guys, it is obviously an Aquarius and Capricorn reading, two people coming together and synergizing their energy for a rebirth, a really beautiful awakening in business, in life, in romance, in career, whatever it is. But all of you guys, that is only really possible and incredibly feasible when you really see that person and that person really sees you. And that means one and the same. That means when you value each other equally. And that means in some instances you have the ability to show up and be that emperor when that emperor is not there. And that emperor needs to learn to be that empress when that empress isn't there. And these two individuals need to learn how to become one with their with each other, really, and unify. Gonna leave it there, okay? Love and light, collective.